Hello there, and welcome back to the Endless Kingdom. I'm your honest host, and today in a not-so-critical review, we're going to be dipping back into the Star Wars franchise with the movie that inspired their latest TV series, Rogue One. Now, Rogue One is part of the Star Wars anthology film series, and is basically Disney's take on how the Rebel Alliance managed to get their hands on the Death Star plans prior to the first movie, A New Hope. The film effectively takes place 1 week before A New Hope. As such, it retreads some familiar ground, but only here and there. The film's title is also tied to its plot because it refers to a group that forms throughout the course of the first half of the movie. The group was composed of Cassian Andor, or intelligence officer and spy of the Rebel Alliance, a very serious and dedicated man to the cause, but at times a little too much, to the point where it looks like he takes orders more seriously than morality. Changes over the course of the film and grant into, but it's still a defining part of his character. It's for some interesting contrast with the rest of the cast. Like Jyn Erso, young girl Andor was assigned to locate, who grew up during the height of the Empire, suffered a lot of losses to the Empire too, had to spend the better part of her life avoiding Andor fighting the Empire, mostly avoiding. To the point where when we see her, she's very cynical on the idea of the Rebel Alliance, the idea of hope in general. The only thing she believes in is survival, thanks in part to losing both her father and her mentor, or the mentor of which is the reason Andor went to look for her in the first place. Saw Gerrera, a rebel extremist who's given so much to trying to fight the Empire, there's barely anything left of him by the time we see him. Saw Gerrera managed to acquire some information the Rebel Alliance wants, but he's so extreme they feel they need someone close to him in order to acquire the information. Hence why they recruited Jyn, of which she only goes along reluctantly. Watch the film to see how that turns out. The next character amongst the main cast is K2SO, an Imperial security droid reprogrammed by the Rebel Alliance. An interesting character, mostly due to how blunt he is, as he's literally incapable of hiding his thoughts. It's for some interesting moments and scene shakeups. Not to mention he's awfully morbid. There's gotta be someone like that in every film these days. Oh well. The next characters of the main cast are Chiro and Malbus, two members of the Jedi Line and Guardians into the Wells. Or should I say former members, since the Empire destroyed that group and what they aimed to protect. Those two, who were the closest of friends, took the formation of the Empire incredibly differently. While Chiro maintains his faith in the Force, Malbus is incredibly cynical. Well, not to mention has a bit of a shoot first, ask questions later mentality. Seen by how most of his ideas for solving a problem is filling everyone in sight with blaster holes. Entertaining to watch, but boy does it show his cynicism. And finally, to round out the main cast is Bodhi, an Imperial cargo pilot turned rebel who effectively kickstarts the event into the film when he defects. Since he was carrying a message for the rebels, it was for one Galen Erso, Jyn's father and one of the chief scientists of the Death Star. Though mostly at the goading of one persistent Imperial director Krennic, main antagonist of the film, effectively. The Empire itself is the antagonist, but he's the one who has the most screen time. The film goes through the group's formation as they try to get the information from Saw Gerrera, to their attempts at acquiring the Death Star plans, which does not go well because the plans are in a highly fortified Imperial powerful intelligence tower. Battles ensue, both on the planet and above it, which is a nice segue into one of the neat things Rogue One did. Using CGI techniques and rare unused stock footage from the original trilogy to bring back characters from the first film. That was quite something to watch. Very impressive too. They brought back a few Rebel pilots. They brought back Grand Moff Tarkin. Even brought back a young Princess Leia. And of course, can't have a Star Wars film set around the original trilogy without a good old-fashioned appearance from Darth Vader. All the names I listed off only had brief screen time, but it was still impressive what they managed. Rogue One is without a doubt one of the best Star Wars films to come out in years. It is wholly original despite it retreading some very old ground, has visuals that put most other space battles on the big screen to shame, and has great character or interactions. The main cast, as was told several times by several different people, that what they were doing had no chance. Yet they persisted anyway, and in the end succeeded. Not entirely without cost, but that's just another good point for the movie, as a level of realism. And it's fair to say that if you have an itch for Star Wars films that the sequel trilogy has not been scratching, Rogue One is the film for you. But, as I always say, I'm not here to tell you if the show is good or bad. I'm here to state my opinion and throw it to let you decide if Rogue One, a Star Wars story, is something you'd like to watch. So if you think Rogue One strikes your fancy, you can find it for easy streaming on Disney+. And if you enjoyed today's not-so-critical review, you can like the video, or leave a comment, subscribe if you haven't, and click the notification bell to stay up to date on all future reviews on this channel. And until the next not-so-critical review, I've been your anonymous host, Kingdom's Kingdom, and I wish you all a good day.